Hello, and welcome back to Xpwaste, where we'll show you a freaky forester. Hi, I'm Oxie.
And I am Michael. If this is your first time tuning into Xpwaste, hello and welcome. We're an old school RuneScape podcast. We'll talk primarily about old school RuneScape, may get off topic, probably go on tangents. We may bring up RS3. So if that is something that you're interested in, stick around. If you're not new around here, welcome back, as Oxie said. Hope all of you are doing well on this fine mid-June day where it's in the mid-90s Fahrenheit in Texas. Hate that. It's very hot outside.
It's 58 and raining for the first time in 3 weeks in Michigan.
Bro, I am so jealous.
It is beautiful.
I'm so jealous. Summer decided to come early this year, and it's quite hot. We went to the farmers market yesterday, and
Love a good farmers market.
yeah, they happen every Saturday in my area, and it's great. Except for in the fall when it gets cold, but I was drenched. My wife would not even scratch my back because I was sweating so much. She's like, "That's gross."
That's cute.
But it's a good time. You got to bring your umbrella to stay out of the sun, not for the rain, but for the sun. And you got to get your freshly pounded into the bottom of the glass strawberry limeade. Those are always good. They literally take limes and squish it into the bottom of the glass and pour sugar and strawberry juice and then mix it with a little club soda. So good. But how are you, sir?
I'm not too bad. I've had a pretty good IRL week. As always, the trade-off for IRL weeks is that not a ton gets done in old school.
Well, didn't you just get your computer back?
Yes, I did get my computer back. I'm no longer rocking the laptop from 2014. That feels pretty good. That is good. That is done. I got a new power supply as just an upgrade, you know, just because. I got a new water cooler because my water cooler had gone bad. Turns out you're supposed to replace some metal silver something on your processor every 6 months.
Oh, the thermal paste.
Yeah, sure. It's been 3 years. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I haven't replaced mine either, so.
So I didn't. That was, we did that. That was fine. And then I also got a new internal storage because I was talking to the guy about adding a new one. He's like, I found a 4 terabyte one here that you can just stick alongside yours. I'm like, okay, I might do that. So now I have an M2, my C drive has 1 terabyte. My brand new D drive has I think after I installed it, it was 3.6 or 3.7 terabytes available.
That's
Promptly
so
moved
much.
every game I have, including Ark, which if y'all own Ark, it is a behemoth as far as gigabytes. It makes Call of Duty look like a game from 2004, how big it is. Ark is, with all the DLCs, is 600 gigs. It's gross.
What?
So it actually came to a point where I uninstalled a lot of the DLCs that I had for Ark because my computer was filling up, and it's still filled up.
Wow.
Also, I learned a fun fact about your C drive with Windows 10 and Windows 11. If you have more than half of your C drive full, everything slows down.
Yeah.
Which I did not know. And I had 40 available gigs left when I took it in. So I moved everything over.
Out of a terabyte?
Out of a terabyte,
oh
yeah.
My
so
gosh,
I moved everything over. Well, you remember back in the day when I got that external hard drive.
Yeah.
So now I have 5 terabytes internal and 4 terabytes external, because everyone, even at my fencing club, was like, why don't you just get an external hard drive? They're all a bunch of kids,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Kids don't know
no,
anything.
you guys don't understand. Not only do I have an external hard drive that I've had for a year or two, it's where I store all the old episodes. I think since before the Hanani episode, I have all of them on the hard drive. So because I used to have to delete old episodes that I finished, which, fun side tangent to the side tangent, the Inferno opener that I made way back in the day, I had to ask Michael to go back through and get me clips because I didn't have any of the old episodes. I didn't have a single old episode that I needed. So Michael had to clutch up and take care of that one for me. I forgot to put seeds in one of my birdhouses.
Oh no.
That sucks. But no, now I have all the old episodes, so I have like 9-ish total terabytes of storage. So hopefully I don't run out of space anytime soon. Here's to hoping. Though Ark Survival Ascended is rumored to come out in August, and that game is going to be thick. I can already tell you that game is going to be thick. It's Unreal Engine 5, although I don't know if they're releasing all the DLCs at once for it. Anyways, I digress. Kind of, because Ark is what I was playing a good deal of yesterday. Because I don't know what has happened. I've like simultaneously burned on both of my accounts at once, but it's not as bad as like a bingo burn, you know?
Yeah.
I just think like...
Are you just bored?
Yeah, like I got a fucking Blue Dragons task on my Iron Man. That sucks. And I know you're saying kill the babies. I have like 60 prairie dog. Like I have to kill the big ones. I don't have to. I have to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's that. And then I don't think my goals on the main are satisfying to me at the moment. So I've not been mega motivated to play the main. And I think that is partially because of the mining issue.
Oh.
Like every time I have logged in on the main in probably the last like month, I've been at Motherlode Mine. Like I haven't raided in a while. I think the last raid I went on was that 420 I did with Arionyx, where he was like, "Oh, we'll just yellow Karis, it'll be fine." And it was the worst raid I've experienced in a long time.
It hurt you.
Like it was horrendous. But I think I haven't really raided at all. I've done like some Zulrah, some demonics on the main. So like it's not like I've been doing nothing, but I've not been doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
But we're 120k away from 89, and then we're just gonna put our head down and get 90. And then we'll be free from Motherlode Mine for realistically the rest of the year, because I'm not going to max this year. I'm not doing it. I'm not maxing in 2023. And if I do, it ain't going to be at Motherlode Mine. That's for sure. This place sucks. I see clan members here all the time, and every time I'm just like, man, I hope you get your level soon. Like in my head internally, I'm like Skillaxin is here with me right now. I'm like, please, brother, be free. Like don't sit in this hellhole. And then after that, I think, I don't know, I might go back to rune crafting. Maybe I'll go back to fishing for like podcast activities on the main. Yeah. And then, I don't know. I think I have to set some new goals. Not that the goals I have, I'm not going to get this year. Because like, I'll do masters. Yeah. That's probably the biggest combat related goal that I have. I've just been on like a really gross skilling kick lately.
Gross.
It's even, yeah, it's a little weird, you know?
What you could do is call up the Volcanic Mine Boys once you hit 89. Because it's like what, like, I don't know, like 400k from 80 to 89 to 90. I can't remember.
Don't tell me that. I don't want to know.
It's not that much. So it'd be like 2 or 3 hours versus like 10 or 12 hours probably at at Motherlode Mine. I'm gonna say if from 90 to 99. Well, I technically did 89 to 99 when I locked myself to mining, and that took me from mid to late October to January. But I was also working and had a baby, and I mean I was probably putting in like 5 or 6 hours a day. Sometimes I wouldn't play, but it's a long grind. It really is a long grind. If you do it only at Motherlode Mine.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't plan on doing it only here, but at the same time, once I hit 89, I'll be much more motivated to do 90. Yeah. And I think that's the issue. That's the issue I have with a lot of my skills. Like, I have 87 agility right now, I think. 87, 88. Yeah, 87. And the issue I have is, like, I just have to get to 89 and then I can get 90, you know? So, it's a really weird, like, when I'm one level away, the mental block is a lot easier to overcome. When I'm like 5 levels away, oh boy.
That's tough. How it always is for me. whenever I was going for 99 and stuff, like 98 to 99 is 1.2 million XP.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, when I'm going from like 96 to 97, 95 to 96, those levels are still, it's still near a million XP. And it takes
Mm-hmm.
forever. But without fail, every time I was 98 to 99, I would get it in like 2 days. Whereas before it would take me like 2 weeks. But it's just that motivation of knowing you don't have to do it after this. And it just feels quicker, which is weird because it's the longest XP.
That's kind of where I'm at, is like we're almost done, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're almost to the point where we can say we're almost done. And that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But for right now, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking like I watched some Ingus videos over the weekend where he's like camping bosses for like a month straight. I can't do that. I'm never going to be that guy who does that.
Mm-hmm.
Both for like time constraints and like I think I would go crazy. I can't do like 3 raids in a row, let alone only Zulrah for a whole month, you know? So I don't think that could ever be me necessarily. But the idea of like going boss by boss to green log just slower. One of our friends, Doc Hart, does that.
Yeah.
And I've even told Doc, I'm like, I envy your ability to just do one piece of content. Because I can't. I genuinely cannot do it. But I think it would be cool to like intentionally green log some of these bosses, you know, just for funsies. Plus, like, I'm so far away from Torva on my main account that I think it's time I have a mutagen, you know?
Yeah.
But we'll see. So I'm trying to like think of what else I've done on my group iron or my main, like, it's not been much, you know. It really feels like it's not been much.
You were talking
which
about,
is a lie.
Well, you're talking about like actually doing Kingdom. That's breaking news.
Oh, that sucks. It sucks so much. Guys, like, not only have I been doing Kingdom, I've been like keeping up with Kingdom, and boy howdy does that feel like shit because I hate Kingdom. I haven't checked it yet. Maybe I'll come back next week and be like, perhaps I judged you too harshly. Shit, maybe I'll do it live on the podcast here in a little bit. I'll go check my podcast, check my Kingdom, and see, because I think I've put like 1.5 mil in there, and like I'm still like a low level Iron Man. Like, money is hard to come by. So like,
it really is.
Boy, does it not feel great to like, you know, have to use it all to theoretically get supplies. I'm not the biggest fan. So hopefully it's not shit and I can actually like, you know, get a good herb lore level banked, because I think I have like 68 con banked. So we'll see. But
the banked XP plugin says I have like 67 banked, and then I would be about 28k from 68. But that's like, that's without me having gone to the bank in a while to like get it updated. But that's not bad. I feel like I've been doing Kingdom also, but it's giving me like 15 to 50 of certain herbs, and I'll check it like every 2 or 3 days. So it doesn't feel like, if I just buckled down and did farm runs consistently, I could have way more. But it's just like the seeds for me are the limiting factor. So I'm excited for when you pop that to see.
I've done more herb runs like this past probably month than I have in my damn near 6,000 collective hours of playing RuneScape. Like,
Iron Man.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I have done a lot of farm runs, a lot of herb runs. It's a little wild to think about that I've like actually played Iron Man mode. And trust me, for everyone being like, "Oh my god, Oxie's an Iron Man." No, I still drives me mad. As I have said, the sense of satisfaction feels good of completing levels, and I think that's another issue I'm having on the main. I like doing quests. I don't have any quests left to do on the main. All my milestones I have left on the main for skilling take me like literal months in real life to do. So that is an issue, but otherwise I am still a mainscaper. Is through and through, I am a mainscaper.
Yeah.
Always.
Do you think there will ever be like a point where that switches for you? I don't know. Like you give me that face of, what do you think? But I don't know. It's, it's a podcast. We have to talk about these things.
Listen, man. I have learned a lot about this just restrictive for no good goddamn reason game mode in the last several months playing with you guys, right? I've learned a lot of how to do it. I know the tactics now, and I know the struggles more intimately than I did before. I still don't think that I will ever be like, yeah, I want to do this full time. Because again, like, if there were a hybrid, if a bronze man was a real game mode, I really would consider it. Because it feels good to get unlocks and upgrades and things like that. It feels good to, you know, have that huge for the account kind of moment that's beyond just like, hooray, another purple, you know? It does feel good. Like, I'll never deny that. I don't see a way that I could play this game without having the quality of life that a main account brings.
Yeah.
And everyone always complains, you know, Xpwaste, blah, blah, blah. There's a reason they put it in the game. Like, it's definitely helped the longevity for me to play this game. Like, when I did Morning's End Part 2 and I had to get all the shit for the Death Talisman that in hindsight I didn't need, that's fine. I wouldn't have been able to do that as someone who, like, when I did Morning's End Part 2 the first time.
Right.
I think that would have turned me off to the game.
Spend a little while at the GE getting everything. And then
but no, I bought a Death Talisman.
Oh, you just bought a Death Talisman. Okay.
I bought a Death Talisman. It was a no issue for me then. I don't think, you know, even being live on Twitch and talking to people, I would have been so miserable collecting those items on an iron without like the knowledge of how to get them quickly. You know? So I think, I don't know. I've rambled far too much about a whole lot of nothing because that is what I feel like I've accomplished this past week. So please, Michael, enlighten us on what you have done, because we're already like 80 minutes into the show and I've only said nothing. So what have you been up to, my friend?
I've been up to a lot of quests. I've been training.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a second. But I've been training. I've been skill hopping a lot. So I got 70 farming. I recently got 60 hunter. I got 51 construction. So like the levels have been coming in, and that allowed me to do a pretty big quest, in my opinion. Still, I don't know. I would still consider it a mid-game quest. You're not waiting until the end game to do this one. But I did Monkey Madness too. And currently, as we're recording, I am hunting maniacal monkeys for some of the best AFK hunting in the entire game. I mean, second probably only to Herbivore for like better hunter methods. But yeah, I did Monkey Madness too. From my experience, so the last time I actually did that quest, it came out in 2016. I got my quest cape in 2018. So between 2016 and 2018 would have been the last time I actually did the quest. And I did it the first time with like just watching Slayer music do it. So having Quest Helper was pretty huge, mainly for the platform, like where you have to lay down like the explosives. Funny enough, to me, the platform was not as bad as I remembered. Yes, it's annoying, but if you just, and this is going to sound so stupid, if you just remain calm and take your time and just be patient with it, you can get through it with minimal resets.
We have to keep our composure.
You have to keep
our composure.
Don't panic. Literally, like the only times that I really like had to get reset was either the game mechanic lied to me. Not the game mechanic, sorry. The Quest Helper plugin lied to me, or I was just being impatient and I wanted to like risk it. And it sometimes it paid off, sometimes it didn't. But there was like 2 or 3 times where I was standing in a spot that the Quest Helper plugin told me was safe, but then a monkey saw me. So then it got reset. And there were some times where like there's monkeys coming in from 2 paths. And I'm like, if I run now, the monkey that's coming in from the right won't see me, but then I can follow the monkey on the left. And I got caught. And then there were sometimes literally where monkeys are not as fast as your character. So if you click and you don't realize it, like you run ahead of it. So if you guys have never done Monkey Madness 2, I'm sorry that didn't make any sense, but most people have. So it wasn't as bad. The underground part where you have to like do the agility portion to go kill Kruk, that to me was the most tilting. Because I'm like, it's 50-50. So you generally don't fall, but there's times where you are guaranteed to fall because you took the wrong path for your account. And so Quest Helper just picks a route and it's like, okay, we'll try this one first. And I fell probably at least 10 times. And then each time you fall and you have to turn on your prayer and you got to run all the way back to the start of that area, do it again till you get to the part where you fell last time. And then Quest Helper tells you, oh, you go to the right instead of the left. So to me, that was the most annoying part. Killing Kruk was easy, just flinched him. And then I got through the first 2 chapters. And then, was it 2 nights ago? Friday night.
I think it was
Friday night. So today's Sunday. Friday night, I decided to throw up the stream and I streamed on YouTube. So if you guys want to go watch it, actually, you can just go to our the YouTube channel and click on the live tab. Not where our videos are, but click on live. And it has my entire stream right there, which I think is pretty cool. But I did the last part, which was killing the troll guards, and then I killed Gluff. And it was so epic. We had like 25 people watching. Oxie was in the chat hyping me up. And I failed Gluff once, but that was literally just due
Which
to...
was a scam.
It was such a scam. He had like less than 50 health, and I ran out of run energy. And so you have to it's kind of like flinching him when you get to the 3rd phase of the final fight. But it's not. So you stand in a spot, you shoot, and you get pulled out. And then Gluff's attack is essentially where he pulls you in via magic. And so if you shoot and click fast enough with your run energy, you actually get out of, like, the mechanic of him pulling you doesn't work. And so you basically just running back and forth. And I wasn't paying attention to my run energy and didn't realize that if you're walking, the timing is off. And so I had him below 50 health. The music, Monkey Badness, was about to end right when I was about to kill him. It was going to be so epic. And then I just got pulled in and I had to tele out. So we had to restart the Gluff fight. But the second time, with the magic longbow and rune arrows, got him down. It was fairly epic the second time. And Oxie came in clutch for this. So
you were dying. The second time.
Oh my gosh.
You were dying.
I don't know what happened, but like I had a stamina potion, which was great. But the second time, I was out of food. Gluff was at what, 8
like
health?
14, 10, something. Yeah, it was not a lot.
Below
of
10.
HP.
He was below 10.
He was in one shot range, but so was Michael.
But I was also at 11 HP, which Gluff can max out at like, I don't know what his max hit is, but he can hit like 20s and 30s probably if you're not praying correctly. Yeah. So I was out of prayer potions. I was out of food. I sipped my last stamina and I was about to kill him. And then Oxie goes, use the magic longbow spec. It's a guaranteed hit. Like, that's so clutch. So I used the first spec. It doesn't hit his full health. And then the second spec I used didn't hit at all because apparently it can still roll a 0. So I had to wait for 5 or 10 special attack energy. And then the last hit got him down with the magic longbow spec. And it's so good.
It's worth the watch.
Yeah,
guys.
just like if you want to go back and just watch that part.
It's pretty intense. It's worth the watch. Yep. It's worth the watch.
And I was trying to find music on Spotify that was like epic, and Oxie's just like, well, just throw on Monkey Badness. I'm like, okay, and it's actually a bop. It's like that music. Who do you know who wrote that?
Adam Bond,
Okay.
same guy who did the Inferno.
Nice. Yeah, that was. It's
He
very
was
orchestral.
around that like 2016 through 2018 period where he contributed a lot of them, like the newer, more intense tracks.
Mhm.
But he's since left Jagex.
Oh,
Not for the same reasons Ian Taylor left. I think he just like found another job, thankfully.
gotcha.
But you know, he's no longer at Jagex.
Well, he left us with like really good tracks to listen to.
He really did.
I kind of wish they had a setting where you could filter it by composer. That would be cool. If somebody can make a RuneLite plugin to do that, that would be really neat. Because if you want to listen to all Adam stuff or stuff that Mod Ash has done, you could do that. Hey, 65 Hunter.
Yeah, JZ and 65 Hunter. Is that, I don't think that information is available in game though. So they'd have to like go through all 700 tracks manually and like figure that out.
Somebody out there is
somebody
smarter than us, and that could write
the information
like,
is
script.
out there. You just have to like, you have to like pull it from the wiki. The information's there, but
just
it won't be us who does
the
it.
data. But yeah, I finished Monkey Madness 2, and not immediately after, but I did gear up and I killed 5 demonic gorillas, which was fun. I need to get better at it, honestly, and I feel like I should probably go back to doing some Slayer or just camp something in the catacombs to get more Arclight charges before I really go at it. But right now it's draining resources.
This man was about to take a dragon scimitar and a Darok's body to kill demonic gorillas. I'm like, Michael, please take a torso and an Arclight. He's like, oh shit, I can wield Arclight. And we're like, oh man. Like, everyone in chat was like, please take the Arclight.
Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't end up taking the torso because somebody in the YouTube chat was saying that they killed like 400 demonic gorillas just in Blessed D'hide. And so I was like, oh, I mean, I'll take the magic hits are where you take the most damage most of the time. And so the magic defense with Black D'hide is pretty good. But I killed 5 demonic gorillas, didn't get anything substantial. I got 1 shark drop, so I was able to stay for a little bit longer, but it tears through food and it also tears through prayer potions, but we don't have a ton of them. And so I won't be camping demonic gorillas too heavily, especially since one of our group mates, Scape, is trying to like do a bunch of Zulrah kills, and he's actually doing Slayer again. And so I feel like those prayer potions and those supplies are better used for like Oxie or Scape to do like Slayer versus me trying to get a Zenite that we can't really do much with. Like it would be good for like the Ring of Suffering, but even then, I don't think we're going to be going back to Zulrah.
We don't have Onyx jewelry.
Right.
We don't have the crafting level to make Onyx jewelry. We don't have the crafting level to make Zenite jewelry. Yeah. So like we're really like
it feels
we're not looking great, you know.
It feels a little soon to be camping demonic gorillas, but I don't know. I feel like I'm due for a Zenite because I've killed 400 of them on my main account, and I've only gotten like ballista pieces. I've never gotten a Zenite on any account that has access to demonic gorillas, which is only my main at this point. But I'm feeling like I'm going to get lucky on my Iron Man, hopefully. Now, can I get 16 of them all by myself? Probably not. So
no, that's a little.
I don't think we need.
That's a ridiculous expectation to be like, oh yeah, Michael, get all of our Zenites. It's a bit of a far-fetched play there.
Yeah. Which is,
but yeah. You know.
But if you guys like, if Scape or TMD never really care to do quests, and we want to go raiding and stuff, then at the end of the day, it's like it's the people who have done the quest that could supply them.
It could. There is a boundary between. There is certainly a boundary between. I don't have the crafting level to finish this. Can you make this for me?
Mm-hmm.
And I refuse to do the quest that unlocks this content. Can you get this for me?
Sure. That's true.
If you know, like, I don't want a quest. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get 8 enhanced crystal weapon seeds for everyone. If I did, that'd be awesome, but like RNG ain't that nice. So, you know.
Yeah, so the quest cape, I'm feeling like I put my stats in, or I put my name and I looked myself up on the wiki, and you can go to the quest cape tab and you can see what skills you have left for the quest cape. And so currently I am missing smithing, herblore, thieving, fletching, magic, construction, and hunter. That's it. There's other things that I can boost for. I mean, I could probably boost fletching, but the ones that are the big ones are hunter, construction, herblore, and smithing. Those are for Song of the Elves, and you cannot boost them. I need to get those. But the nice thing is, it's like at a certain point, it's just going to happen. Like I'm going to get 70 hunter very soon. Herblore is slowly but surely going to happen, and then it's just a matter of like I need to train smithing so that I can get money for construction, so that I can, make the planks and then do mahogany homes. So it's going to take time, and I think it's mid-June now. If I can train the skills, then it's just a matter of doing the quests. And I don't want to put a date. I don't want to put a hard date, but I'm thinking like end of July, maybe like probably early to mid-August is what I'll say for Quest Cape, which is pretty cool. It's sooner than I thought I would get it. But that's all thanks to my group mates for helping with the supplies, because herblore and crafting are pretty sucky to train on an Iron Man. It just takes time. So I've got plans for stuff, and it just, I'm able to AFK a bunch of stuff, which is nice. I'm able to AFK Hunter. I'll probably end up just tap at nights to get the thieving level. And then I have really been thinking about post Quest Cape goals, and I'm kind of excited for those. Like there's certain things in my head that I'm like, would I want to go straight to 99 Hunter to like just do herbivore from 80 to 99 and then get a bunch of herbs and train herblore that way? I don't know, what it would take as far as...
Sounds kind of crusty, I'm not going to lie.
It's not, I don't think it's crusty. I really like herbivore, and it's fairly quick. I mean, you get over 100k an hour. So from 80 to 99, 80 is at, I think 80, what is 80? It's like 2.4 million or something. 2.4 million XP. So it'd roughly be about 10 million XP, 100k an hour. We're looking at what, 100 hours? Yeah. Is that math right? I can't.
I don't know. I'm fighting Hespori for the first time, dog.
Oh, are you?
I couldn't tell you. Yeah. I'm not the best look for the show, but,
So 10 million. I'm doing math on my phone real quick. Times 100 divided by 100,000. Yeah, it's 100. I don't know why I doubted myself. So 100 hours. I mean, it would take a month or two, but herbivore is really chill, and I could do birdhouse runs, but the herbs from it would be super nice. So if we wanted to be able to do like Chambers of Xerix, or have higher tier herbs, I don't know what the math looks like from if you did from 80 to, I'm sure somebody has it, but from 80 to 99 without really stopping, what the banked herblore XP looks like, and I'm sure it's massive. Now, getting the secondaries, that's probably going to be the hard part, because you generally have to farm alongside getting your herbs.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what the secondaries are. Like, if you get a bunch of stuff for, like, like ranging potions, like Wines of Zamorak and shit, yeah, that's going to suck. But, like, if it's, like, red spider's eggs, you've got spidines, you've got the scaly blue dragon hide, limpwort roots are free as shit, especially because we have a farming bot on our team who, like, has been planting limpworts for, like, 3 years at this point. So
yeah, I have a bunch of limpworts.
Shitloads.
When I do my farm runs, I will occasionally do my snape grass, but I've mostly been doing herbs and limpworts in every patch that I can. And I have 7 herb patches and 6 limpwort patches. But the one in the farming guild is reserved for the white lily. because I just don't want my same. I don't want my stuff in the in the farming guild to die. Hey, cheesy on your Hespori kill. Where did you get your seed, by the way? Is it from trees? Your Hespori seed?
I have like, I think I had 9 total. I just planted another one.
You have 9 seeds?
I mean, yeah, I've been doing trees and fruit trees, and I just popped a mahogany set, and I got a seed from that. So,
Nice.
like,
well,
you know,
I'm sad because I've gotten 3, and I'm 70 farming, and I've done probably like close to 50 pineapple trees. I don't do regular hardwood trees, I don't do regular trees, but I do hardwoods. The Hespori seeds haven't been coming for me, and I'm quite.
I've only been doing the regular trees because I just like have a lot of them.
Oh,
like that's like I have a lot of. Well, I used to have a lot of willows, and now I don't anymore. But like, you know, I just had the seeds. So I'm like, I'll plant them. Now I can do yews, so maybe I'll start planting yews. I don't know. I've got 5 yew seeds. I don't know, man. I've got Iron Man mode. I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
Iron Man mode.
Iron Man mode. That's been it on the groupie for me. I'm just excited. But speaking of trees and hard trees and regular trees, we just got an update.
I'll show you a hard tree. I'll tell you what.
We just got an update from Jagex about forestry. And so this came out on June 9th. We're a little bit late, but who cares? Forestry.
I mean, we're not that late. It's June 11th. Like,
by the time this gets out into the world, obviously. But no, actually, no, it's not late. What am I talking about? I'm gonna hype us up a little bit. We're talking about forestry within a week of it being within a week of their little blog coming out with the newest.
So not only are we handsome, but we're also super talented. So you guys can suck it.
But mark your calendars. June 28th, which from the time of recording is only a couple weeks. We're very, very close to this highly anticipated woodcutting update coming to the game. That's sure to make it a lot more AFK and potentially a lot quicker for you to get 99 woodcutting. The only sucky part, and we'll get into the details, but I just want to say this right off the bat. Reading through this blog, the only part that really actually makes me sad is some of this stuff won't take place in the woodcutting guild. So like the group bonuses, I'm sure the events, I haven't really checked, but mainly like the group bonuses, most of the stuff won't take effect. Like the group bonuses won't take effect in the woodcutting guild, but you already get an invisible boost. So I guess it's not terrible. But getting into it, Wednesday, June 28th, part 1. Oxie, what is happening with part 1?
So, I'm sorry, I'm doing seeds to make fruit trees. Funny enough, that are not going to get bonuses from forestry. It's the first time I've like played the game in like 2 weeks. So I haven't had a PC and like I was on mobile for like 10 minutes of solo mission. So I'm like playing the game. No, but so. The first little bit that comes out, there's like 4 events they talked about. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, so it's like a leprechaun or like a root or something like that. So none of the like intense stuff, but from what I saw, there are some decently high level stuff, which I'm pleased about. You know, some of it takes like higher wood cutting and higher levels and other skills, which I quite like because I think we said this like months ago when we first started talking about forestry that like if it were like, oh, the highest event takes 30 wood cutting, that's gonna suck, you know. The shop is gonna be there, which is gonna be cool. The group bonuses, like Michael said, are gonna be there, which like I understand why they're not at the woodcutting guild. But if they don't do anything else at the woodcutting guild, like if they don't do any events or any ability to get like leaves or little forestry bits, that's a huge waste. I imagine they will. I just think if they don't, it's kind of pointless. Like, why would the forestry not work at the woodcutting guild?
Yeah.
Which also sucks because like you can't get a bonus for redwood trees.
No.
Like the plus 10 bonus, because you can, so basically all trees except for normal trees and like
blisterwood,
hollow trees or something.
Yeah.
Well, blisterwood is stagnant for everyone. Blisterwood doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like hollow trees, normal trees, and like that might be it. I don't know about like juniper trees and shit in like Hasidius, but basically all trees now work on like a similar to upper level motherlode mine timer system. And the and the more people who are cutting the same tree, you get up to a plus 10 invisible bonus, which means, as we all know, invisible bonuses work where they help the rate with which you harvest resources. They don't allow you to boost those resources further.
Right.
Like you cannot boost from 25 to 35 to cut willows if 10 people are at willows from oaks. But the oaks you will cut will be a lot faster because you're cutting them at level 35. It also means you can't equip the next tier of axe. So if you have 52 wood cutting and you get a plus 10 invisible bonus, you can't equip a dragon axe, or you can't use a dragon axe to cut the trees. But it's going to make it a lot easier for just like standard wood cutting. It doesn't apply at the woodcutting guild, so you don't get it for redwood trees. Okay. I don't know if I love that.
The timer still works. So the timers are still going to take effect at the woodcutting guild. It's just a matter of like that invisible boost. You already get a plus 7 invisible boost. So they didn't want it to stack. And
and I get it.
Yeah. So I don't know. The only thing that maybe was clear, but I just kind of skimmed over. I don't think the events will happen in the woodcutting guild. Let me do a quick Control F and just I'm gonna look for all of the instances where they say guild in this blog here. It doesn't look like they mention events when it comes to the guild. So we can assume potentially that the events will happen within the guild. So the only thing that they specifically say is just, hey, you're not going to get the plus 10, which is fine with me because the first thing that they outline here is the tree timers. This has changed. So if you're going off of the last time that they talked about forestry, these spawn timers have drastically changed. I think when the last time that they had spoken about this, it was like a minute and a half for like willow, teak, maple. That was a long time to get an entire minute and a half, which to me, I was fine with it because I feel like woodcutting should be it should be AFK. Like if you're woodcutting and you're not like sitting there trying to sweat with tick manipulation, it is kind of nice to just sit there while the tree is like a long timer, but they changed it. So pretty much everything before teak is around 30 seconds. So teak, willow, and oak are around 30 seconds. And then you start getting up into the higher timers when you get to maple, mahogany, Arctic pine, who cuts that. And then yew is 2 minutes, minute 54 seconds. Magic logs are almost 4 minutes. And then redwoods are 4.5 minutes. And that's just saying it's a guaranteed timer before it despawns. So you'll have almost 5 minutes of active redwood cutting before that little chunk of the tree goes away. Which before
the question is, like, I guess this is my question for redwoods specifically, because you've done your fair share of redwoods. I really haven't.
Yeah. I think I'm at 15 million on my main. So from 90 to 15 million XP is all done at redwoods.
Don't you go like 5 minutes sometimes without getting a log?
Without getting a log, no. But you'll go like 5 minutes, sometimes even longer. I've been before they had the log out timer, the extended one. I would go upwards of getting logged out without my inventory filling up. So sometimes it can go longer than 5 minutes before that tree spot disappears. But I haven't gone that long without getting a single log before.
I guess that's another question. Like with redwood specifically, I think this isn't a lack of Jagex designing it poorly. It's me not understanding the content well enough. When it comes to these timers, this 4.5 minute timer, this is how long it will take to respawn, correct?
Despawn.
So you only have the trees open for 30 seconds for teak trees?
A guaranteed 30 seconds. So before, set to random. So like you could chop one.
Yeah, it was a 1 in 8. It was a 1 in 8 chance. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could chop one log and the tree would disappear, and then you'd have to wait. Now you get a guaranteed 30 seconds. Now, what I'm not clear on, and we'll have to test this when it comes out, is like after the 30 seconds, does that 1 in 8 chance happen? Or is it like at 30 seconds, it's going to despawn no matter what?
Yeah, and then I should really pull this blog up. What does the respawn timer for these look like? Because the question I have with some of the stuff, like Motherlode Mine does this really well. One of the few things MLM does really well. I mean, MLM does a lot of things well, but like the upper floor timers, right?
Mm-hmm.
The upper floor timers work in such a way that they're only open for, I don't know, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever it is with each vein, but the veins next to them respawn. Like, you won't be able to go 3 veins without all of them coming back. So like you'll go vein 1, it'll despawn, vein 2, it'll despawn. By the time you're on vein 3, vein 1 will be back.
Yeah.
More or less. So that's, I guess, the despawn timers are one thing. The respawn timers is what I'm curious of.
I'm sure it's going to be similar to what they didn't mention anything about respawn. So I can imagine that the respawn timers have not been affected. So does it take longer than 30 seconds to get a willow tree to come back? I don't think so. Not from my memory, but it definitely doesn't take 5 minutes to get a redwood to spawn back. So if you're chopping for 5 minutes, and say you have so each redwood has 2 spots within the same side.
Yeah.
So if you're chopping one side on the north side of the tree, and it despawns after 4 minutes and 24 seconds, you go to your second spot. I'm sure by the time that your next 4 minutes and 24 second timer goes up, you'll have your first spot back. So there shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really hoping that this kind of alleviates the need for people to circumvent the tree, because to me that's the most annoying part. Is you're like posted up at your north spot on the first floor on the right side of 514 in world 514, and like your trees despawn, both of yours on your side. So now you have to go to like the east side or the west side, and you have to like infringe upon somebody else's AFK, or they come and infringe upon yours. And that's the worst thing to me when it comes to redwoods. There's not a lot I have to complain about redwood trees, because for how AFK the content is, you really can't complain. And this is only going to make it better.
Yeah.
Now if events really do happen within the Woodcutting Guild, I'd be interested to see how they play out when you're up on the rafters, if they come with redwoods. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Like, how do you get vines and shit on the that's why I'm not sure. Like, I feel like they will miss some sort of opportunity if they don't have them in the Woodcutting Guild. I don't know. It just seems like now the Woodcutting Guild is dead content, which is so weird that the Woodcutting Guild would ever be dead content, because the XP rates, they probably are different for redwoods and Jagex and Yews, but it's not like one of them is 400k an hour and the other one is like 20k an hour.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting in a Discord call with the boys and we're doing forestry stuff for like, I don't know if forestry's going to have a collection log. Who knows? Maybe we're all clogging together doing forestry stuff. I would rather cut Jagex and hang out than cut redwoods and not get any forestry perks.
Right.
I don't know. The events definitely seem like fun. What I don't know what I want to say worried about is how long they're going to take and how much they're going to take away from the actual content. Because it says here, you'll see an estimate of 4 to 5 events per hour if you're chopping solo, whereas a group of 10 players chopping a single tree should expect an estimate of 7 to 9 events per hour.
Yeah.
Which, let's read this a little bit more. Anytime an individual is cutting a tree with a forestry kit, there is a chance for an event to spawn. As long as no events happening within 10 tiles of the tree being chopped, which I imagine is like a 10 tile radius, right? They have the potential to spawn an event, which is good. So we're not like being overloaded with forestry events, right?
So if you have a bunch of trees like in Draenor that are close together, you could potentially have 2 trees at a time that have events going on.
But the question is, can you participate in other people's forestry
I would
events?
imagine. Or does it
Like-
lock you to, hey, you weren't chopping this tree, so you shouldn't?
Yeah, like it's almost like this isn't for you kind of
I don't
thing.
know.
Like, is that, I don't know how that's going to work. So
It's-
that'll be interesting to see. I mean,
Yeah.
the only thing I don't want to say concerned about is basically I just don't want it to become like now we're wood cutting for the events.
Yeah.
Unless the events are fucking cracked and they're really fun.
Yeah.
I feel like it might take away a little bit. I'm overall optimistic about the events, especially if you can store all the shit you need for them in your little forestry kit.
Mhm.
You don't have to like waste inventory space.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool, you know. We've also balanced events across all trees so that something like an oak tree has a shorter timer, will have a lower chance to spawn, but will allow for more rolls to see if it's successful. Higher end trees like Jagex work the opposite way. So let me read that again. Have a shorter timer, shorter despawn timer. They will have a lower chance to spawn, but will allow for more rolls to see if it's successful. So like,
Which part are you? Is
oak
this
trees.
the third paragraph?
the paragraph at the bottom of the events tab.
Okay, I got it. Hold on.
We've also balanced events across all trees so that something like an oak tree that has a shorter timer, I imagine they mean a despawn timer,
Yep.
will have a lower chance to spawn events, but will allow for more rolls to see if it's successful. Higher, I don't understand how. So basically, like, you're going to get less events on lower level trees. I genuinely, my brain cannot comprehend what
That
the hell that
sentence.
sentence says.
So if I had to put it in other words, meaning, so an oak tree, it despawns every 27 seconds. So I think what they're saying is they've tried to balance it to where it's definitely has a lower chance to spawn. So like, one in, I don't know, maybe 100 logs, but it's going to roll that. It's going to roll to see, hey, it's 1 in 100, but it's going to roll every 15 seconds. Versus if you're cutting a magic, it's not going to roll every 15 seconds out of the 4 minutes that you have. But when it does roll,
Okay.
it's a 1 in 5. So it's a higher chance, but it doesn't roll that chance as often.
Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
My smooth brain could not handle.
Let's put some wrinkles in that brain.
It's a poorly worded sentence.
is.
Man. I don't like that at all.
I had to go into my D&D brain of like rolling a dice. Like I had to roll dice in my mind to kind of make that make sense.
Yeah.
But it is, I like how they're balancing it in that sense. Like it's going to be rarer, but you're going to have the chance for it to happen more often. It's just going to be, it's going to be more exciting when it does from an oak tree versus
Mhm.
you're not going to get bombarded if you're chopping a magic tree.
Yeah.
Because my curiosity with the events is like, what does the rewards look like? Is it only going to be forestry things? Or like, for instance, if you're cutting a magic tree, are you going to get like noted magic logs? Are you going to get logs? Because like you're taking away from the experience of chopping the tree.
So they had another blog that came out before this, right? So they had the next steps one, which we're reading right now.
Uh-huh.
And then they had the forestry open beta blog, which described in detail what was going to happen with everything.
Gotcha. I think I skipped
For
over
all
that.
of y'all who were there, you remember that the beta didn't work out
Did
very
not.
well.
Yeah.
At the top of the blog, if you go to it now, it says, unfortunately, the beta for forestry will be postponed indefinitely due to unforeseen technical issues. What the hell does that mean?
Can I take a second to say that the phrase postponed indefinitely doesn't make any sense? Indefinitely means that like it's definitely not coming back. Postponed means it's coming back. Couldn't they just say
Well-
we're not like the just say the beta's canceled?
But they might bring one back for part 2. Did they say they're not doing betas
They're
for
not
part 2?
doing a
I don't
beta for
remember.
part 2. They said that in the let me check. Oh, it does say, okay. So it says, although we won't be including any details on what's exactly happening with the beta worlds, we're going to give you more clarity. Okay, so I guess that it's not canceled. Okay. I don't know, just weird. It's worded weirdly. Postponed indefinitely. To me, that just sounds like canceled.
Yeah, I don't know.
TL, like to be determined. Beta TBD is anyway. The rewards. So I skipped over this entire like the Forestry open beta. I did not read a single thing to figure out what the rewards were, because once I learned that the morning that the beta was supposed to happen, they're like, it can't happen. Like no prior testing.
Yeah, that shit was wild. Like the blog came out on like a Monday. The beta was supposed to go live on a Wednesday. On like Tuesday night, they're like, "Yeah, we're not doing this shit anymore, guys. We're sorry," or like whatever the timing was. But yeah, I think so. From what I'm reading from the events, it seems like the first 4 events that are coming out: the Rising Roots, the Flowering Trees, which is like the bee event, the Struggling Sapling, and the Leprechaun, all give a little bit of experience. Anima infused bark, which is the currency for the shop, so it's like the pieces of 8. I don't know why pieces of 8 was the first minigame currency that came to my head. So shit like that. And then some of them give, like, I think the one I'm a little confused about, the Struggling Sapling, create the right combination of mulch to feed the baby tree before it withers away, get some experience in anima infused bark. Where's the one that gives seeds? Yeah, find the right 2 flowers to move pollen between them for experience. Anima infused bark and some seeds or tasty treats as rewards. I don't know what seeds they're talking about, but that's neat, I guess. But I don't know. It seems like there's some fun stuff in the shop. It seems like there's some fun. What's it called? It feels like there's some fun.
So I guess
little benefits.
Yeah. So I guess the bark is what the main like reward, and then the bark is used to buy other things, like the actual rewards.
Yes.
Okay.
I think they talked about the forestry shop. They talked about there's like upgrades to your forestry kit, which I think is super cool. So like the log basket will work like the fish barrel.
Ooh.
And like I don't remember if you keep this in your inventory, you attach it. The log brace. You know what? You use the log brace to attach the log basket to your forestry kit. Okay, so they're pretty expensive upgrades. But like, they're worth it. Lumberjack outfit, which I don't know why in the hell you would buy the lumberjack outfit from this.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to do a bunch of quests to get to temple trekking. And originally, that's how you got the lumberjack outfit. So skiller accounts did not have access to the lumberjack. So this is another way to get it, which makes more sense from it coming from a random temple trekking minigame to get a woodcutting outfit. That it would make more sense that the woodcutting outfit comes from a woodcutting event.
If you're a normal player, just go to temple trekking.
Yeah,
it's so you'll literally get it in like 10 minutes if you're a normal player.
Yeah.
They have a forestry themed cosmetic, which is neat, which is kind of like the spirit angler. Which sounds pretty cool. There's one there, like you can attach a clothes pouch. Let's see, you can stick the clothes pouch. You can stick your lumberjack or your forestry outfit inside the clothes pouch. And I don't remember if this goes in your forestry kit or not, but you can like wear Fashion Escape and still get the 2.5% XP boost. That's pretty neat.
When is that going to come for all of the skilling outfits?
Honestly,
just make it like the skilling outfit idea was kind of cool, but it would be even better if you could like in my brain this makes sense. But you know how they like some places will sell towels, but they're in like these little pucks, and then to get the towel you have to like put it underwater, and then the towel grows out of this puck. It's gift shop stuff. But like, what if you could compress your clothing into a little puck, and then that puck goes into a pouch, and then that's a new ammo slot like type thing where you have
I don't know if I dissociated or if Michael's not talking any sense. I have no idea what the hell you're talking
It's
about.
in my brain, and somebody out there can relate to like going to a gift shop and finding a little puck for, and you come home and you put it on water. It's a towel. But anyway, all that to say, I feel like wearing an outfit to get the bonus is kind of, I don't know. I just want to wear. I just want to look so cool while I'm doing skilling, and sometimes when everybody has Spirit Angler or everybody is wearing Pyromancer, kind of boring, really visually boring, and it makes you want to turn on Entity Hider because it's just boring. But if everybody was in their best fashionscape or their most epic gear,
attached to your forestry kit,
yes,
you can purchase a roster of other lovely goodies, and you can explore the shop with. At least this is what they were saying for the beta.
Oh, this is all
the log
beta
brace,
right?
Well, I imagine this is all still coming with the shop. You know, did they say the shop is what's coming? Forestry Part 1 is set to release. Yes. There will be no beta. New leaves, teas, campfires, tertiary effects, and bonfires will move to Part 2. That's like the TLDR.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll get the shop. Now, the only thing that they mention about the shop is something that they failed to mention in the first part, which is two-handed axes. Which I think two-handed axes are interesting. The mechanics to me don't seem like, I don't quite understand it. They do explain it. So from the forestry shop, you'll have an item that you can buy. And I'm sure you buy this item using the bark. So once you buy the item, it's just an ornate handle, and you attach that handle to a current axe. So everything from bronze all the way to your third age, your crystal, your dragon, all of that is going to be able to be made into a two-handed axe. So the way that it works is it's going to consume your run energy with each swing. So, for instance, you swing it once, it's going to take 40 points of run energy. But you'll get an XP bonus. So they said with 40 points per swing, you'll gain 18% more experience on a successful hit with a 20% chance to not gain the log. So you'll get the XP for the log potentially, and not have to get the log in your inventory, but at the cost of it taking your run energy. Now, they detail this. They're like 40 is a lot. That's 2 swings essentially. But they have another item, which is the Forester's Ration, which gives you back run energy. So it's a whole thing. They give an example. So for the first 7 swings, you'll lose 40 points of energy for each swing. But with the Forester's Ration, you'll restore 30 of those points with each swing. So you'll have 7 swings before you get to 0. So if you're at 100%, when you start chopping, you'll be able to swing your axe 7 times before you get back to 0. So then you'll start taking non-boosted swings until your run energy gets back up to 60. And then you'll get another 3 swings to get back down to 0, and the cycle continues. It's going to essentially mean you'll have some time when you're boosted and then some time when you're not boosted. So it's not going to be like, hey, this two-handed axe is going to give me 18% more XP all the time. You have to couple that with the Forester's Ration to have it make sense. Is this going to be something that a lot of people do? I don't know, because how my question would be like, how easy is it to get the Forester's Ration? Are you going to have to cut a bunch of trees to even like have the opportunity to buy them? Do they stack? Where is it going? Is it going to be in your inventory?
The rations do stack, I'm pretty sure. But are the rations tradable?
That's also a great question. Man,
I think so. I would think the rations are tradable.
I'm so sad. Like all of these questions that we have as two very intelligent people, sometimes smooth brain, but like we're pretty intelligent guys who play a lot of RuneScape. We're having a lot of these questions that could have been answered in the beta. Like had we just been able to play around with these mechanics before the actual event started, but not the event, but like before the actual changes are put into the game, we could have had a lot of these questions answered.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we'll have to wait and see until the 28th to really figure out, like, is this going to be viable? What I would have liked to known is, like, before I make my third age axe irreversibly into a two-handed axe, is it worth it? Who knows? Because I'm okay. So there's really nothing that you need an offhand for when you're wood cutting. So like making a two-handed axe doesn't seem like it's that detrimental, but at the cost of like if you don't couple it with a forester's ration, it doesn't seem like it's that viable of an option to have. Your run energy is going to go back up, but you'll get one. So right now on my Iron Man, it says if I was at 0, it would take like a minute for it to get back up to 100. So if I get to 40, that's about, 30-ish seconds. So every 30 seconds, my run energy is going to go back to 0 and I'll get one chance to swing the two-handed axe for that 18%. Math is not my strong suit, so I don't know how that actually plays out on your actual, like, what your, if that's going to increase your XP per hour.
They have said that like you get an estimated maximum of 10% increased XP per hour. Maximum of 10 when being the most efficient with a bunch of forester's rations.
Gotcha. So
that means you have to be in a group of people to get the plus 10 invisible bonus. Do like the purple sweep method where you have like thousands of forester's rations in a stack and then cut trees with either a dragon or a crystal two-handed axe.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so
10%'s not terrible. If you're doing that at Redwoods, now everything you just said is kind of like, it doesn't really matter because Redwoods are only really in the Woodcutting Guild, or they're only in an instanced area in the Farming Guild. So if you're doing it in the Woodcutting Guild, you're going to be getting maybe, so I think on average you get like between 50 and 60K an hour. So you're looking at maybe 55 to 65K an hour. 10% is not that much, but it can be nice.
Here's my question. When you eat things, they interrupt the action that you're doing.
Uh-huh.
See where I'm going with this?
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a consumable.
Does wood
like
cutting suddenly become like significantly less AFK because now every 2 swings you're eating one of these forestry rations? You know the sound effect it makes, and then you have to click back on the tree. Like, oh,
maybe
it should be a two-handed axes are one of the stupidest parts of the update.
Really?
I'm sorry. I think this could be one of those like Oxie's mad about the escape caves and then he's just wrong situations.
Like it didn't age well.
I read this blog. I don't often read blogs and think, wow, that's a pointless update. Wow, this is a pointless update. I'm really not. I don't know, man. I'm just not a big fan. I don't think it's bad. I'm not going to like vote no on it. It just seems like a waste. Yeah. I don't know. Like I have to waste an inventory spot. I potentially have to click back on the tree all the time. Or I have to find a way to get these things in bulk, right? Mm-hmm. Because clearly it's not going to be effective to only do it with like 5 rations in your inventory.
Right.
So my iron doesn't benefit from this because my iron's not going to have the resources to be able to make thousands of forestry rations. Assuming they're tradable, because I get the sense that a lot of what they're adding with forestry is tradable, which is cool. You know, they're going to be expensive on launch, so like definitely not worth using. And then both axe handle and two-handed axes are tradable on the Grand Exchange. So like, yeah, I guess I could buy it a two-handed dragon axe, but like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem
the two-handed. Yeah.
The two-handed doesn't seem worth it. Like
looks cool.
They like you had a really good thing going with what you're working on in forestry. It's almost like someone says it's too simple. How do we make it more complicated? And
This is how they do it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the two-handed axes. Not so much so that I don't want them to come to the game, because like, just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's a terrible update.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's
Yeah.
unless someone develops a method for it, or once again, I either don't understand it or they're not doing a very good job of explaining it, because they like to be vague in their posts sometimes.
They really do.
You know, like I said, the mid-level NPCs in the escape caves. You know, it's not super helpful sometimes, but hopefully this is, if they're charges, it's great.
Right.
If rations are like 20 GP a pop, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
mm-hmm. That's worth it. I mean, it's going to be something that we'll have to figure out when it comes out. It's going to be more expensive, obviously, but I like a couple months from now, getting that extra 10% might be super easy, or it might be really tedious, like you're talking about.
You also bring up another really good point of like, if you're busting your balls to do this somewhere like Redwoods with the +7 bonus, and you're at maximum cracking off 66, 70K an hour, you know, I can see how it would be kind of cool somewhere like Teaks if you're doing like 2-ticking, and this still counts, which is another thing. If eating a forestry ration interrupts an action, it doesn't affect the best XP per hour, because now you are thrown off in your 2-tick cycle. But as we know with Jagex, that might be intentional, because they will never interrupt the best XP per hour for some of these methods.
Right.
Forestry has never been branded as a new best XP per hour. So it wouldn't surprise me if the rations interrupt actions. Because if they don't interrupt actions, now you've just made 2-tick Teaks a hell of a lot faster. But is it a hell of a lot faster? Because it goes from, what are 2-tick Teaks? 90, 120K? I gotta look this up.
Something like that, yeah.
But even so, OSRS 2-tick Teaks.
It's doing it live.
I'm doing it live. I'm trying to find it on the wiki. Not pay to play woodcutting training on the wiki. Fast experience 35 to 99. 1.5 tick woodcutting on Fossil Island with a crystal pickaxe or with a crystal axe is 208K an hour.
200?
200 for 1.5 ticking with the herbs. So like,
wow.
Herb tar move click, and it's all you get it mega fast, right? That
that's like
cool. It's 200 and it's 228, 226, 236. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't entirely know if that's worth it. Also, the 2-tick Teaks are, it says considerably slower at 184K per hour with a crystal axe. So like, yeah, it's, I mean, cool, you know.
It's going to be
I don't, for me, I'm not going to use this to get the best XP per hour. My big ass is going to sit at Redwoods from 90 to 99, or absolutely. Forestry with the boys from 90 to 99. So, like, I'm not concerned about what this is going to do at the higher end for me.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. Two-handed axes seem a little dumb.
Right. So, part one is going to be interesting. We'll get that on the 28th. No beta, obviously, like we said, but it's going to be kind of a shell of the entire update. The entire update is scheduled to come out in August, and they're going to be polling a lot of the more controversial things. So the things that we can expect for August are going to be, let me read the TLDR. Campfires, teas, leaves, tertiary effects, and the bonfires. So I didn't really, I heard a lot of chatter about the proposed effects and the boosts and the things that they were talking about with the teas and the bonfires, and a lot of people were upset. I think Reddit and Twitter were really upset, and that's and for those who can't see, Oxie's doing the tiny violin. I kind of agree with you, dude. Like, I kind of agree. Like, I didn't really look into it to get a super informed opinion, but like my opinion about it is all of this stuff is the stuff that they proposed. All of it was optional. But the problem with RuneScape players is even though it's optional, people feel like it's not and they're obligated. Because if there's a better method, they feel like they have to do it. An example was they were talking about with like specific teas and boosts, like you got more Slayer points, you got better chances of spawning clues, you got better superior drops or superior spawn rates. So it was things outside of woodcutting as a skill that was being like meta changing essentially. So like if you wanted to efficiently train Slayer, you then had to go train woodcutting to get a T to boost your Slayer points. Again, optional, but people feel obligated. And so there was a lot of backlash on the developers for even considering something like that. Now, did I have a problem with it? Probably not. Because I think this game, if you look at any game, like to me, it doesn't seem outlandish to think that you could train woodcutting and do this activity in woodcutting to then have the chance to like be really, really cracked at like your Slayer level or getting clues. Because the game as a whole can work together. A lot of people like to look at this game as two separate communities. They like to look at it as I'm a PVMer and you're a skiller. I don't do skilling because I'm a PVMer. And why does PVM boost come from skilling activity? When you're playing the game, like the game as a whole could have both. If there was a, like if there was a special PVM thing that you had to do to get better skilling rates, which correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of how it is. If you want to dragon axes on Iron Man, you got to go kill Dagonoth Kings. And in order to have the best woodcutting axe in the game, you kind of have to do PVM. In order to have the best pickaxe in the game, you got to go do PVM. So like, what's the difference? Unless you're a main and you can just buy it. But even then, that a lot of the stuff they were talking about is tradable. So like, couldn't you just rely on somebody else to go do forestry and sell the tea on the GE? And you just buy the tea and bring it with you? Who really knows? But
were the teas the ones, or was it the teas that gave you the boosts?
It was like the teas,
or was
it the campfires, and like a lot of that stuff was.
Was it the bonfires that gave the boost? Because that's the whole thing. Like, I was always kind of confused about this for the initial, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know, cool. Like,
did it bother you at all? One of those, like, if you thought about like, oh, I have to do woodcutting now to be able to get a better spawn rate for superiors. If they didn't want to do the diaries, for instance, like the combat diaries.
I was to say that's my first point is we already have increased chances to find clues, increased minigame rewards, increased Slayer points, increased superior spawn chance, an increased chance to save range ammo.
Yeah.
All already in the game.
Right.
So like, you didn't seem too upset about it then.
Right.
First of all. Second of all, I'm just still still kind of confused. I don't know, like, are they tradable? If the teas are tradable, shut the up and just bring them with you.
Why does it matter?
Like, I don't like that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Increase Slayer points. I also get the flip side of like, why do I have to do forestry? Why do I have to train woodcutting to be good for pest control or for Slayer or to like save runes if I'm doing something? How long are the duration on some of these things? Is it a 10-minute boost? Is it a 2-minute boost? Is it an hour-long passive boost? Like, there's a lot of like questions that go into it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's appropriate to ask those questions and give those kinds of critiques. So I don't necessarily think they're like the most out of pocket for being like, we don't like this. And frankly, what the stuff they've proposed makes a little bit more sense for forestry.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So
they're kind of like the early brainstorms are like less burn chance, more birds' nests, more arrow shafts, more clues from skilling, which like sure are a little bit more in line, but again,
all that
is there not a way that we could make these like permanent passives?
right. All this kind of seems like early game effects. Like fires burn for longer. But why? Why do we need fires to burn longer? Nobody is cooking food out in the wilderness on a log that they lit. So why would a fire need to burn for longer? It doesn't. We don't need fires to burn for longer.
Well, they've got this whole like bonfire, tea brewing, rest. You can like, I don't know if you like gain fire making experience from tending to a bonfire.
I think you do. I think the whole thing with the bonfires was it originally would give you 25% of your XP per hour. So if you got 100k XP per hour,
25%.
So yeah, so if you got 100k normally from lighting line fires, you would then make 25k an hour doing the same amount of logs.
Sucks balls.
But
that's the shittiest fire making.
But you just
training
stand
ever.
there, Oxie. Like you just stand there and throw logs in a fire. It's the trade off. It's the trade off that people were like that would to me would be super nice. Like if I have like 10,000 logs versus lighting 10,000 fires, or what is it, like 2,500 fires? I don't know. It seems way more. I love AFK, so
to me that seems like the difference of like, dude, I would rather make 10,000 steel bars worth of cannonballs than do 2,500 pieces of gold at blast furnace.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to be a little bit more active?
Well, I'm just thinking about the people who play this game while they're working. If they play, they're sitting on their iPad. It's an option to do it.
It's not theater of blood. It's line fire making.
It's very. Have you ever
25%?
I don't know. When I'm working and I'm playing, I have my RuneScape window off to the side, and I'm like answering emails. I'm not sitting there looking at the screen, clicking every every 2 ticks.
I get it. You do have to click a lot.
Yeah.
I don't find it to be super intense to the point where it needs an alternate.
It's brain dead and it's very click intensive. As far as a training method, you can't go to Wintertodd in AFK there because you're going to die. And your alternative, I'm going to die. And the alternative is line fires, where you have to click 50, almost 60 times. You click on the tinderbox, you click on the log. Click on the tinderbox, click on the log. That's like 56 times to do 54? Math. I love math.
Technically, it's 52 if you're doing the Varrock method, where you teleport to Varrock Square and line fire make like I did, because I didn't do any of that ball sweating fucking unnote the logs at the Grand Exchange bullshit.
I love that. Anyway, it's just an alternative. It's optional. You sit there and make a bonfire with the boys, and you're all like outside the bank, just throwing logs on a fire. I think they have it in RS3.
As a fire making method, I think it's dumb as shit. As like a rest and get some like whatever, it's social. Like it's again, as a fire making method, it's stupid. As a forestry benefit, sure, sounds like fun. Why not? I still feel like teas, bonfires, and leaves. I've read these blogs like dozens of times. I have no fucking clue what they're talking about. Leaves, roots, boosting production, and all. I don't know why it cannot connect in my brain what they are trying to do
Right.
with these. Is it tradable? Who cares? Buy it. Bring it with you. Is it beneficial in ways that aren't wood cutting? That is a little strange. Is this Iron Man complaining? Because you know how I feel about that. Like, I don't get it. And I don't
Honestly,
think I've ever understood it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where my fault lies with these campfires and teas, because the next steps page where it talks about what they think for brainstorming seems a little bit better as far as like lining up with the content. It also seems like I'm never going to use these teas.
Yeah.
If that is the
If
content.
that's the content, then sure, it's dead content on release for a majority of the people. Because I don't want fires to burn longer. I want them to go away so I can continue line firing in the same place.
Especially if there's a 10-2 option for bonfires and I can just like add more logs to keep it going longer. I don't know. Like, I understand it. It's going to have some niche uses. It's going to have some really nice early game uses. The increased clues are cool. The increased birds' nests are cool. I don't think they're bad changes. And I don't think the people who raise the concerns are necessarily super out of pocket with raising the concerns. I'm either world's smallest violin and take some teak tea leaves with you or whatever they are. Take some teak leaf tea to your next Slayer task to get more points from Duradel and quit your bitching, or I'm just not going to use the teas.
Yeah. We'll have to see. Honestly, I kind of like that they've split this up just so that we can have this conversation. Not we, but they can have the conversation with the community, and it can be something that they figure out. Because we have what now, a month and a half, potentially 2 months until this second part comes out, so they can get things more refined. They can have more discussion. I think they actually are going to do community consultation, which is cool.
Yeah.
I don't think they did any community consultation when it came to forestry. It was just like, hey, this is what we're proposing. Like it or go away. So in the end, we'll find out more in August. But it's definitely going to be community consultation is next. And then once they're done with that step, it's all going to be polled. So we could have all of this. We could have none of this. We could have some of it. But at the very least, forestry is coming in part, and woodcutting is going to be a little bit more epic, I think.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think I'm still overly optimistic. I don't want to say overly optimistic. Overall, I am optimistic about the forestry update.
Mildly
I think
optimistic.
overall it's going to be I don't even know if mildly optimistic. Like, I'm excited for it. It's going to be a good update. I'm not like, oh, forestry, shit content, where's raids 4, fix the chatbot problem, no, it's going to be good, you know? I also don't know. I think it will do what forestry is trying to achieve, making woodcutting more AFK, making it more sociable, adding fun little trinkets as rewards. I think it's going to do that perfectly fine. I think that's going to be great. I think people are going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it. Now we're going to add teas and bonfires and two-handed axes and fucking uptick manipulation. I don't. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Like, I'm just that stuff I'm super indifferent about, and like, frankly, just do not care. Like, I would rather this be a woodcutting update and not anything else. Maybe I'm just sounding overly pessimistic about this. I think I'm going to stop because I think I am being overly pessimistic. It's going to be a good update for what it is intending to do, which is make woodcutting more fun.
Yep.
And I think it's going to do that really well.
Absolutely. I'm excited. Come 2 weeks from now,
me too.
We might change our tune, but I don't think there's really anything to be like overly upset about with round 1. So
yeah,
it's gonna be good. I'll definitely do it on my Iron Man. I don't know if I'll do it much on my main. Oh no, I will, because I want the woodcutting outfit. I want to get all the cool stuff.
I'm gonna do it on my main for sure. Hold on, are we gonna lose prestige if we cut with our irons and our mains?
No,
that would be the most shitty, toxic thing Jagex could do. Is that they were like, yeah, you know,
it's raids
group irons
and
should really only
woodcutting.
cut trees together. You know, you cut alone together.
Oh
like
gosh.
you're not. Yeah. So
imagine you're cutting a tree and this one person walks up next to you and you just suddenly have to like dart to another tree.
dude, it's like hardcore status level loss. Like someone chops one tree and you're like, no,
my star.
Your team is flaming you because you were cutting yew trees in a public spot. No, okay. That's obviously not going to happen, but like, be kind of funny if it did.
I'd hate it.
I do too, but that's why we don't like Iron Man mode, folks. But you know what we do like? Commercial breaks. How do you feel about that, Michael?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Sounds like a plan, folks. Enjoy this commercial almost as much as you'll enjoy Forestry. Forestry. See you soon.
Damn desk is always full of papers ever since he rolled it. Oh, didn't see you there. Good day to you, mate. My name's Herman Karanos, founder and director of this here Piscatoris fishing colony. We don't get too many visitors way up here, but I'm glad you stopped in. Stick around for a bit, I'll be more than happy to give you a tour.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important safety announcement. Attention. This is a message from the Gillinor Protection Agency. We have received unconfirmed reports of a dangerous anomaly located off the southwestern coast of continental Gillinor. Preliminary data suggests a large, winged, serpentine-like creature, although exact descriptions of its coloration and pattern have been inconsistent. The creature has been sighted in bodies of water that have historically been classed as toxic to most forms of life. It is unknown whether the creature can live out of water at this time. No data from the fossil record matches these early reports, and therefore the Gillinor Protection Agency has classed this creature as a biosynthetic anomaly, rating hyperlethal. All cognitively sentient races within the immediate vicinity of the reported anomaly are advised to evacuate the area and remain inland until the Gillinor Protection Agency can identify, confirm, contain, or destroy the anomaly. If you come into contact, do not engage with the anomaly. Close your eyes and keep still. The creature may leave you alone. Please await further instructions. The Gillinor Protection Agency thanks you for your cooperation. You will now be returned to your regularly scheduled broadcast.
After all that, you still want to stick around? Well, glad to have you on board then, mate. We'll get you started here shortly and you'll be a fisherman in no time.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial because I know I sure did. The recording booth chat convinced me to get a beer on break. So we're going to be sipping a cold one while doing everyone's probably least favorite section of the second half, which is Patreon. Though I imagine if you're getting shouted out, it's not your least favorite section. Just as far as excitement and community engagement, it is community engagement. I don't know why I'm downplaying the Patreon bit so much. In any case, it's Patreon time, folks. As always, thank you to everyone in the Gnome Child, Party Pete, and Wise Old Man tier. If you're in the Wise Old Man tier, there's a little thing up there right now that's going to be covering Michael and I's faces. We have a new Wise Old Man this week, Joshua B. Welcome. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the Wise Old Man party. If you're watching on YouTube, you definitely saw where I turned the Wise Old Man thing off for a second. That wasn't a joke. That wasn't a mistake. That was so you could see Michael doing that dumbass hand motion. I got you, editing Oxie. Don't worry. But thank you to everyone in that tier. Joshua B., welcome to the group of wise old men.
And women.
Which still sounds weird after all this time. So, as we've said, shout out to all the other tiers. It's time to move on to the biggest and the baddest tier, the three-headed tier, if you will, the King Black Dragon tier. So, huge shout out to Broic70, my dad. Hi, Dad. Cloud Kicker, Dicky Bird, EXP Enjoyer, Gay Raccoon, Imby Jones, Lil Drakey, the Lord Jake himself, Mark, aka iSteam, Mike Oxmall, MT Birchfield, Reclinatus, Rylithian, SatanBot666, Soggy Waffles, Seppi J, who's actually new to the King Black Dragon tier, Skooma92, Spartan Fire, Taco Ninja, the Big G Jordy, the Crayola Crayon, Toast No Toast, and Tis Talk Coots. Thank you all so much for your absolutely monumental support over in the KBD tier. You guys are awesome. And that is all I have to say about that, as it were. You guys really help out the show. We appreciate you. If you want to help out and support the show, head on over to patreon.com/xpwaste. I don't know why I said that so strangely. Whatever the name of our show is, patreon.com/xpwaste. And you can go pledge your support at whatever tier you feel comfortable. And like I say every week, or don't, I'm not your mom. My shirt's probably in my mailbox. I would show you guys if I actually went to my mailbox to go get it, but I didn't yesterday because we went to go see Transformers and we didn't have time to go to the mailbox beforehand. And then I forgot on the way home. Which, good news and bad news. Good news, Rise of the Beast kind of slaps. Bad news, my local Applebee's doesn't do half-priced apps. How do you not do the one thing you're known for? In a college town of all places.
That's probably why.
We were up. What do you mean that's probably why?
The people would take
Drunk
advantage
college
of it.
kids ordering.
Well, I guess, yeah, they'd be just making more money.
You make money either way.
Yeah.
What? Especially if you get all the... It's an absolute wasted opportunity on their part. And frankly, I will never forgive them for it. That wraps up the Patreon portion. That means I get to send it over to my boy Michael to do the community question. I'm definitely not going to do Achievement of the Week while Michael is doing community question because that would be irresponsible and I would never do that.
Right.
So, Michael, go ahead.
So-
what do you got for us?
So I can just expect to, this is a very one-sided segment. Actually,
I will interject, okay? But I'm not going to be doing... But
Anyway.
do your thing, okay? Shut up.
community question time. Last week, we asked you guys, what is the sweatiest thing you've ever done in the game? Starting with our Spotify replies, Iron Otis said, probably the hours and hours I spent killing things for drops during Springo. Shout out to my boys from the Loop Goblins. Shout out. Bingo. Fall bingo. Spring bingo. Springo. Anyway. Next we have Alex. They said they got 10,000 of each log because I thought it would look cool on my account. Now, the noise of the axe hitting the tree gives me PTSD, and I only play Iron Man. I will now go for ores. So they said, I got 10,000 of each log by myself, and I have PTSD from the noise. But now I'm going to do it with ores.
Which, the pickaxe sound is so much worse than the wood cutting sound. I have my game sounds turned on today for some reason. So much worse.
So much worse.
So much worse than the wood cutting sound. But it's not worse than stacking things up with Ice Barrage.
Oh, gosh.
You want to give yourself, an ear pain for the next day? Do an entire Necreals task with game sounds on.
Ding, 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 ding. Like the little...
It's terrible.
The bell sound from the Ice Barrage. You know what?
But it doesn't just play once. It it just
repeats?
it all stacks up.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound better because it's all pixelated. It just sounds like it's horrible.
Yeah, I feel like the worst sound in the game by far is whatever, I think it's some creature in the Inferno. I can't remember which one, but it's probably the major, and it's got the highest pitch screech when it attacks for no reason.
Probably the Meleeer.
Is it the Meleeer?
Meleeer has so they used all the same sound profiles from the fight caves, and it's probably the Meleeer because the Ranger and the Major have this sort of
is it the
attack that goes along
Nibblers
with
though?
them.
Maybe it's not the Nibblers. It's the one that's the blobs. It splits up into 3. Anyway, it's one of the things in the Inferno that you fight a lot, and for those reasons, I'm out. Next up, we have...
I was just say, it's because... So, yeah, our resident Inferno expert over here.
Next up, we have Hendowski. They said they bought a girlfriend. That was the sweatiest thing they ever did. Moving on to Dinosaur. My solo
Like
run
in real life? Or
in real life or in the
'Cause-
game.
Because that's a little sus.
Dinosaur says, my solo run for the Missouri backpack was the sweatiest thing I've ever done. Due to bad RNG, I had a level 5 Baba, so I had to resort to red Xing as opposed to getting smacked 40s through prayer. Solo Missouri backpack. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna need to get carried. So,
Dinosaur, how in the world did you accidentally get a level 5 Baba?
yeah, is it due
Did
to
you
bad
start
RNG,
with
I
like
guess?
Did you start with like the stupid like level up the rooms by 2 and then didn't pay attention with walk the path turned on? How do you accidentally I mean, I'm proud of you for getting it, but like my brother in Christ, this is avoidable.
Yeah. Next up, we have Good Fizzle. She said, I put a 50-minute timer on my phone to log in and do birdhouse runs at work. That's actually smart. I don't think that's necessarily too sweaty.
That sounds pretty on brand
Yeah.
for sweaty.
Sweaty.
Maybe. Do you
They're-
think I ever set a timer for birdhouse
They're really
runs?
quick. But it is good XP to just get it done. You're not doing very much in game. Next up we have Jack Bingham. I think that's how you say it. The Clan Chaos Altar PKing. Clan Chaos Altar PKing was the sweatiest thing they've ever done. Is that where you have like a bunch of people in your clan? You just go to the Chaos Altar. Well, as I'm
maybe it's
speaking,
like clan v clan stuff.
Oh, maybe. Well, they said Clan Chaos Altar PKing. So does that mean that they're killing the Bone Runners or are they killing the people? Who knows?
Probably killing everyone. They're peeking.
Kurt says, sub 2-minute first Vorkath ever. Love the episode. Love Solo Mission. Solo was the MVP of Gilmore Games this year. Oh, much love. Hopefully Solo's listening to this one so he can... It was his question. So hopefully he's listening. Mockcast says, nothing. That all sounds like too much effort. I need to focus on killing KQ with my 10 inventory spaces for supplies for the Desert Diary. I feel like that's pretty sweaty. Killing KQ with only 10 inventory spaces on a UIM.
Yeah. Mock Cat, you're not allowed to talk about sweaty. Your main account is a UIM.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about I'm not that sweaty. Your whole account is sweaty, my guy. Which isn't even an insult. I could never play UIM. I'm always impressed by what you do, but like, don't downplay yourself like that.
You are the
Sweaty
like, you just need more deodorant because you're always sweaty as a UIM. I don't think there's a single thing on UAM that's actually normal, I should say. Seymour says, I trained 80 to 99 melee at Nightmare Zone while I was sleeping. Darox, pray melee, absorbent potions, then bind all your mouse buttons to left click, tape over the laser, and put it under your pillow so you don't go AFK.
That really is some sweaty shit.
Holy
My man
cow.
redid his whole hardware. That's some sweaty shit.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. But you're still going to get 6 hour. I mean, I guess you get 6 hour logged. But wow, okay. That's very sweaty. If there was anything on this list that is like, that's not sweaty. That right there. That's pretty sweaty. Okay. Rice Ball says 100% getting Dragon Cup during Leagues 2. I'm glad I got Dragon rank, but never again. Nice.
That is some sweaty shit, let me tell you.
That was in Trailblazer
You're out
too.
there.
Ugh.
I was just say, if you are out there doing Dragon Cup in any league, Dragon Cup period, you're sweaty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I've done my fair share of league achievements and league accomplishments, and it's like we talked about last week. It is exhausting at the final stretch.
Yeah.
Exhausting.
I'll never do it. Like Mithril Cup at best for me every time. Skalaxin says, Skalaxin here. My sweatiest moment was for sure when I spent at least 16 hours a day for about a month to get from 85 to 99 rune crafting. I hard locked myself at Bloods to finish before TOA was released. That was a grind that I remember. And I'm kind of jealous. 85 to 99 is a lot of runes, but This man did it with the rune crafting outfit, which netted him like, I don't know, 1 million blood runes or something crazy. Skalaxton's here in the recording booth, and they could attest, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, he just confirmed it was 1 million blood runes. And he said they were worth a ton.
Just say that's got to be a shit
like
ton
what,
of money.
like
even when blood runes are at their low, blood runes are 197 right now. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money for 1 million blood runes.
16 hours a day for a month, though. That's a lot of rune crafting. Anyway, moving on. Moist Sean says, there's a reason they call me Moist Sean. Finally on Spotify, Torin says, the fight caves / inferno attempts. It's hot down there. Nice. Nice.
It do be pretty hot down there.
I gotta get to
fight cave / inferno attempts. So I know Torin. Does Torin have a cape?
I don't know.
I think it's like it's T0R with.
Maybe
he doesn't have a cape yet, but if you're putting the attempts in, it's coming. Surely.
If that's the same person, because it's like first and last names on Spotify, it's kind of weird. I choose not to dox people.
Does it say Torin in the name?
Torin, yeah. Huh.
I mean, yeah, he's been in the clan for like a year.
Nice.
So no, I know him.
Sweet. Moving on to our.
He's not ranked at Chad though. You gotta pump those numbers up, dude.
You only need what? 5, I think.
It's 5 these days.
5
yeah.
to get ranked. Pretty easy. Moving on to our YouTube replies, where we asked you guys the same thing. What is the sweatiest thing you've done in the game? Brandon says, gained 3,400 Castle Wars tickets for a full gold decorative, and then grinded for the Champions Cape. Not sweaty in that it was click intensive or requiring a lot of focus. 1 year of nonstop Castle Wars took a lot of mental determination to stay consistent. Champions Cape took 280-ish thousand. Champions Cape took 280-ish thousand cannonballs. I often contemplated if the immaculate drip was worth it. Then I'd use a fashion state plugin to equip it. Absolutely, it was worth it. Flexing this is so much fun, basically everywhere. Working on my 2000 top cape now and tier 5 bounty hunter hat to bring the gilded Champions Cape fashion scape to peak performance. I kind of want to do this
now.
They don't give their username, but it's their name on YouTube is Brandon.
Wow,
yeah,
Brandon,
my guy.
My man spent 40 million cannonballs or more. I'm sorry, I'm coughing like crazy, but it's
gonna be wonderful to edit.
Okay, top cave looks pretty nice.
40 million cannonballs, 3,400 Castle Wars tickets.
See, that part sucks. Like, I would buy the cannonballs, no problem. I'm definitely keen to get the Champions Cape someday.
Yeah.
Seems like a post-max goal. But like, man, 3,400 Castle War tickets in the 2020s?
Ugh.
That shit sucks.
Because what do you like? Alt-skipping it or like finding people to do it with you? That's the hard part.
Yeah, or you're like paying clan because there are like Castle Wars clans that do that sort of stuff.
A year of nonstop Castle Wars, an entire year.
That's absolutely brutal. I mean, like respect to the man for doing what he enjoys, surely, but like that's rough.
Wow, that's okay. That I think that actually takes the cake in my book so far for the sweatiest thing. Wow. Okay, moving on. Ultimate UIM says they 3-ticked barfish from 55 to 88 fishing in 2 days. Wow.
It's like 4 million XP.
55 to 88 in 2 days. With 3 ticking. Disgusting. Next up, Ryan was losing to my friend in the 99 woodcutting race. He was level 98 and I was level 96. Got almost 1 million woodcutting XP in a single day. I tried to learn 2 tictiques, 1.5 tictiques, and eventually ended up doing siliceps and redwoods for basically the entire day. We tied in the end and got our first 99s together. That's wholesome. Man.
That's actually pretty good. I like that a lot.
I like that. It's too far gone for me to race anybody to I mean, Oxy and I could probably race to a 99 on our group Ironmans,
We're,
but like,
I
don't want to do that.
was gonna say, I don't know if I brought it up this week or last week, but like I'm secretly racing you in total levels, but you're not allowed to know that.
Oh, okay.
And we're like, I don't think we're racing for a quest cape. I think we have to do it together. But I think you're gonna get bored because like, what do we want to get our quest capes on? There's one correct answer.
Monk's Friend.
I've already done Monk's Friend, dog. Come on.
Yeah,
now, I don't do that
100%.
shit.
I always get my quest cape on Monk's Friend. I did it on my main.
So
at least.
you're gonna tell me that.
Are you gonna tell me that I have to be a silly PVMer and do it at night of the theater?
I mean, that would
Really?
be super cool. I was gonna say Song of the Elves because, like,
I mean,
let's just say, dog. I'm gonna be doing Night of the Theater with you anyways.
Yeah.
Like, come on, let's be
Right.
honest. You're not gonna do a Night of the Theater without me there anyway.
listen,
So if you want to get your quest cape there, go for
Monk's
it.
Friend ends in
We
a
can
party.
do that together. Michael, I did Monk's Friend
Oh, you already
2
did
years
it?
ago.
You already did it on your group Ironman?
Dog, I have Dragon Slayer 2, Fremennik Exiles, Monkey Madness 2, Night at the Theater, Secrets of the North, and Song of the Elves, and then I have a quest cape. And then Desert Treasure 2, because realistically, I'm
True.
not going to get my quest cape before
Oh,
DT2
man, I forgot
comes
about
out.
that. Well, okay. I feel like Song of the Elves might be fun to do together. So I can
Can suffer in the library at the same
Yeah.
time, baby.
we should both stream it at the same time. That would be kind of fun. But anyway, moving on. Staunch Koala. That's an interesting name. I like it. Blackjacking from 40 to 80 thieving in 2 days. Guys, Staunch Koala, the ultimate UIM.
Let me guess. Iron Man.
I would imagine if they're doing blackjacking, that's a hell of a lot of money, though. Can we just appreciate the millions of GP that they probably have on their Iron Man account?
It ain't as much as 1,000,000 blood runes, that's for sure.
Cornelia says, my ex-boyfriend called me a noob for having a free-to-play account with no 99 to show for it, while he had a members account with 99 cooking and all the other skills were mediocre. So I signed up for members and I grounded out my highest skill from 72 to 99 in 2 to 3 weeks. That skill was mining. Holy smokes. 2 to 3 weeks? Oh.
Nah, it's not the 2 to 3 weeks that she got the 99. It's the fact that you get 72 mining and fucking free to play. Holy shit.
Oh my gosh. Hey, it's not that hard. Honestly, you just park yourselves at iron and you get you get pretty decent rates going to 99. I don't know. Moving on to Jordy, 3-tick barb fishing. And I want to say alking because I've gotten over 10 million XP by just alking. What? 10 million XP?
Jordy.
That's a lot of XP.
Jordy, my guy, do you want to do Desert Treasure together? Do you want to do you want to unlock Ice Barrage, my guy? Like, my man said, yep, 55 magic, that's good enough for me. I'll just high alk my way to 99.
That's crazy. Anyway, that's going to do it for our YouTube replies. I thought there was more, but Cornelia and the Ultimate UIM were just having conversations back and forth under the community question replies, because it said 12 replies. I'm like, oh wow, popped off on YouTube. But no, they were just talking about how Cornelia.
Look at that community engagement.
Anyway, much love to Soul Mission. Thank you for that question last week, dude. If you want to answer this week's question, it will be, where are you going to chop logs once Forestry comes out? What's going to be your go-to spot? For me, I think it's going to be the yew trees in Edgeville, because those are pretty nostalgic for me. I'm probably going to be busy as hell, though. So,
it's right by a bank, which is
Yeah.
nice. I would say, frankly, for me, the yew trees by Catherby are pretty cool, because that's where I did a lot of wood cutting in leagues.
There's yew trees in Prif. If you didn't know, they don't look like the
I did
normal
not
yew
know.
trees.
Nothing looks normal.
Nothing looks normal, but they're graphically a lot different, but they're right by a bank too. So that could be nice.
Like our magic's gonna be viable.
Probably.
Like our magic logs, are we finally gonna cut magic logs again and like not feel bad that we're getting dog shit XP per hour.
Maybe.
Like, is that finally going to happen for like the first time in
it's still going to
2
be pretty
decades?
bad XP per hour, but like maybe you'll.
But is it going to be fun bad XP per hour?
like maybe you'll get more logs per hour, so maybe you'll make more money. But like it's still probably going to be, I don't know, what are magics now, like 30, 25k an hour, 25k XP an hour.
I don't know.
If they made them more
Let's just
XP
say-
per hour, I think it would be kind of epic to like to actually have proper skill progression.
I think it balances perfectly because magic logs also make you money. So like
Magic logs,
to me, it's fair.
literally, magic logs only make you money because of the alch price of magic longbows and magic shortbows. Otherwise, magic
Yeah,
logs would be
and?
absolutely useless.
And
I don't know. I'm not complaining, but you guys can answer that question on the community question section on Spotify or the pinned comment of this YouTube video. Oxie, are you done with Achievement of the Week?
Well, considering I wasn't working on it when we did the
No.
community question, absolutely I am done with it because I did it before the show
Oh,
because
right.
I'm a responsible podcast
Right,
host who remembers the one
Absolutely.
thing he has to do before he records.
Absolutely.
We're going to get into Achievement of the Week. It's Achievement of the Week time. I cut it out of the episode, but I'm coughing a lot because the current air quality is not great because I live in Michigan. We're right by Canada. I don't have it as bad as like Detroit or New York City or anything like that. All I got to say is thank God climate change is fake and the planet isn't dying, but I'm coughing up a storm. So we're going to get through this and I'm not going to cough and die, right? Achievement of the Week is relatively short this week, unless I'm a mumpty and missed a bunch of stuff, which I don't think I did because I went through levels and achievements for the last week, like we always do. Whenever we have a short Achievement of the Week, I feel like I've done something wrong.
Yeah.
Like I'm worried I missed a bunch of stuff when in reality, there's just not a lot of stuff that we shout out that happened this week, which isn't to say people didn't achieve things, but like, as you guys know, we don't shout out like I completed all the hard diaries. I, got my first Vorkath kill, stuff like that. So like we see your achievements, we just don't shout them out here all the time. So congratulations to everyone off the rip. But we've got one quest cape this week. New KBD patron Seppi J achieved his quest cape, which is pretty awesome. Not the only cape that was achieved this week. Moisty Legs got his first fire cape. Yep, first fire cape on the account, which pretty impressive. We do love a first fire cape around here, as you guys know. Speaking of things we also love around here, Epic Epoch got their first Zulrah KC, which is one of my favorite things to see pop up in the clan. I will say it again. I will be the first to admit that I was wrong, and the new collection log pop-ups were a good thing to have in the clan. Though I do wish there was a pop-up for quest capes and diary capes. I wish there was a pop-up that is like so-and-so has like completed every quest in the game, or like has earned their quest cape. Something like that. I wish that existed.
I don't know why it doesn't.
Otherwise, I don't know. Otherwise, though, I think that's pretty neat. We have some more combat achievement things this week. Sickness and Avengor both got their first corrupted gaunt like Casey this week. Finally, in the combat achievement section this week, Zepic's dad, Roscoe, achieved his Menophyte ornament kit this week. I don't know if he did that by himself or with someone else. And at this point, I've learned it doesn't really matter. Like, I think the Phalanx is easier to get by yourself. Big asterisks on easy because it's still a 500 level raid. But you don't have to rely on other people not dying in the 500. So, unless you do the tactic where like one person goes in and you just like sit outside the room and don't die. But,
get carried essentially.
So, pretty much, yeah. Which, funny enough, was one of his usernames for a while. Just but that is the combat achievements section. And now it's time we wrap things up with skilling. I had to break and put a cough drop in during that technical difficulties thing there. So, kicking things off for skilling, Got Clues achieved 99 rune crafting. Strom achieved 99 range. Spari achieved 99 herblore. Monos achieved 99 agility. I believe he's pretty close to maxing. Mac NG achieved 99 cooking. Matt RSM achieved 99 range. Doombar achieved 99 mining. And Toilet achieved 99 strength. We have some more total levels as well. Butter 6000 and Sibling both achieved 2K total, and Jack and Clubs achieved 2.2K total. Welcome to your new total level worlds, folks.
Woo!
Enjoy them. That wraps up Achievement of the Week this week. Technical difficulties aside, that went pretty smoothly and that went pretty quickly.
Nice.
If you achieved something awesome, head over to discord.gg/OSRSTNL and let us know about it. We say it every week. Small achievements, big achievements, we don't care. We want to see what you guys do. That is awesome. Come join Objectively the Best RuneScape Discord and Objectively the Best RuneScape community you will find ever. Post about RuneScape, post about stuff that isn't RuneScape. A lot of people have been talking about Diablo 4 and our other games channel. Make some friends. Come hang out. But plugs for the Discord aside, Michael, do you have a fun question for us?
Do you have a fun question? This comes straight from one of the consistent community question answerers, Mockcat UIM. You guys have
Okay.
heard his name a million times by now, but he did ask, what is one bit of content that is overlooked or considered dead that you think could be revived with a small change? This is a thinker. This is like one of those ones where, I should have read this yesterday and had an answer pre-prepared because I think it deserves it, honestly.
Yeah.
There is so much stuff. So to get the thinking juices flowing, his answer is barbarian mixes. Nobody uses them because they're only 2 dose with a variable amount of healing depending on the type of potion. I say make them a fixed amount of healing and make them 3 dose. It would make them more viable without ruining what makes them special. At Fossil Ivan Wyverns, prayer mixes could be a viable option, restoring your prayer normally, and they could heal 5 hit points per dose. A normal prayer pot can restore slightly more prayer than a prayer mix, but the prayer mix sacrifices less prayer for more health. That's the premise for mixes anyways, but they failed to be a good trade-off. Yeah, so just rebalancing essentially. I like that answer a lot. I think for content that's speaking to his answer specifically, content that's in the game that I have had absolutely no interaction with is prayer mixes, like potion mixes essentially. Barbarian mixes, sorry. It's been in the game for a while, I would imagine, and you kind of learn how to do it a little bit whenever you go through all the stuff with barbarians, but I couldn't tell you the last time I actually utilized any of that content. I think the only time you get you get mixes from something. I just can't remember. It's not clues. I don't remember. Anyway, that's a small piece of content.
You get mixes from chewed bones.
Chewed bones. Okay. Huh. Well, along with the forestry update, I kind of hinted at it as we were going back to, as we were talking about stuff in the community question, but if they just made things scale appropriately with your level. So for instance, if U logs, magic logs, all of the higher tier logs from woodcutting actually gave you a reasonable amount of XP, they could balance it to where you don't get as many logs, but you get more XP for them. It could be viable to train woodcutting in the progression that it was designed to do. It's the same thing with runite ore. Nobody really mines runite unless you're trying to make money because it's so slow. You have to hop worlds to find the rocks, which makes sense. It's a valuable resource at the end of the day, but it's only valuable because there are certain factors that go into it. It's limited quantity, unless you're bossing, and the things you make it into have a set value because of alching. If high alching was not in this game, there would be so much dead content. So much. So many things would just cease to be viable. Magic logs would be useless. Runite would be useless. But
I mean,
it's only because
such
of
is the beauty of a super old game. Also, I don't know if they'd be totally worthless. They're still a good way to train fletching.
yeah,
They're not the best way to train fletching.
right. But like
And
U-logs,
now with Giant's Foundry out, people are using that, to kind of buy more ores. But ores are always going to stay at the prices they're at. You're exactly right, because of alking. Alking helps to stabilize the prices of things.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I just like within skilling, the gathering skills specifically, a small tweak could just be to buff the XP, because nobody mines adamant. Nobody mines mithril specifically. That all comes from like skilling and skilling mini games.
I don't think you have to buff the XP for that. I think you have to make it more akin to forestry, where like more than one person can mine a rock and get a resource at a time.
That's true.
Because it's like the first day of leagues, or like the first day when GIM came out with like the tin, the copper, and the iron.
Yeah,
it's a bloodbath.
Yeah,
People are everywhere fighting for resources. So if you made those rocks more akin to like upper level MLM, or like redwoods, or this new forestry update where like it was beneficial for more than one person to mine it and it respawned faster if more people were mining it, then it would probably serve a better purpose. But the archaic holdovers of 2001 still kind of plague this game a little bit, and they're slowly but surely being updated, which is a good sign. So.
Yeah, maybe we'll see like a quarry update or something to mining if forestry is received with like say in like a year or two. You will see ores respond differently with more people mining them, and respawning differently and lasting longer, and you get like mining events.
I would love if they made that change for fishing so much.
Yeah.
I would never go anywhere else but Catherby.
Oh, true.
I would genuinely get 94 to 99 fishing sharks at Catherby. I don't care. If it wasn't a competition for resources and there was a way that XP wasn't just mega slow.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be a good one.
A one change they could make, like a little, like a new mechanic for fishing, would be like a new stackable bait that when like you would use so many bait per hour, but you know how like they call it chum the water, but it's like you throw food into the ocean, it attracts all the fish.
Michael, are you talking about spirit flakes?
No.
The bait that they added
Let me cook.
That gives you more.
So
it's fishing. You're not cooking it. You got to catch the fish first.
You would have. I'm trying to get to the point of your fishing spot wouldn't move because you're using the bait to attract the fish into one spot. So if you had this stackable resource in your inventory, it would use so many charges per hour, but your fishing spot would stay in one place, so that you could just fish in Catherby and not have to like go up and down the shore, but at the expense of using resources to keep them there. Because that's one thing I hate about fishing is like you're mid session and now you have to go all the way down the beach and you don't know where your fishing spot is because I don't know. Anyway, that's fishing, gathering skills in general. What did you have for this question?
I also have a skilling change because like the first thing that came to my mind is like Dorgish Khan. That could be redone.
Yeah.
But I feel like we also have an episode about that. So like go listen to that episode where Michael and I talk about dead content. The biggest piece of dead content, in my opinion, that could probably benefit from some sort of rework is Hunter.
Yeah.
So much of Hunter is not worth doing. You go from 1 to 9 doing the museum, right? How do you go from 9? Is it 25 you get your first birdhouse? I don't remember. I think it's 20 or 25 bird houses. Technically it's 5, so you can start planting whatever. So like
you do one birdhouse
doing
run.
Birdhouses.
Yeah, you do one birdhouse run
to
and
get
you get
levels.
to 14. It's crazy.
Yeah, you start doing levels pretty quickly, So you do Varrock Museum, you do birdhouses, maybe you do like salamanders or whatever, and then you do chins until you get herbivore. Right? That's not necessarily like the only way to do it. That's just one of the quickest ways to do it. I think a lot of the stuff like what could we do with birds? Not bird houses, like crimson swifts and shit like that. What could we do with those? what could we do with butterflies? What could we do with kebits?
Mhm.
What could we do with any of the hunter outfits or the baits? Because like I think we've touched on it before, but like that's all just coding problems. The
Yep.
reason hunter works without a hunting outfit is because they just didn't implement it properly.
Mm.
So like hunter outfits are pointless. Like
They were supposed to do
Is-
something, but they didn't.
yeah, like is there a way that we could make the spined Larupia, the horned Garak, and the saber-toothed Kayat outfits give 1, 3, and 5% bonus XP respectively? Or, you know, let's see, spined Larupia gives a 5% chance for your trap not to trigger. So like if you catch something, you don't have to reset a trap.
Mm.
Or if something breaks a trap, it doesn't fall over.
That'd be
Horned
so
Garak
nice.
gives a chance for double hunter, like a 2% chance to double whatever resource you're getting, including chins. And then the saber-tooth Kayak gives bonus hunter XP. Those would be pretty cool. So
Yeah.
you could wear something neat for hunter that isn't graceful, which like I suppose you can do anyway, but you know, like we said, skilling outfit's fun.
It would really change the
Let's-
skill because you would have different outfits for different activities, and you would kind of
Mhm.
choose like, okay, do I want to go from 63 to 99 faster, or do I want to go from 63 to 99, potentially 99, and get more chins, depending on what outfit you're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that a
Yeah,
lot.
and is it a matter of like, is there an update that comes out with like late game hunter that makes all three of those outfits combinable?
Ooh,
You know, do we have like a monster hunter effect where like you get like different bonuses based on what pieces you're wearing? Who knows? I think maybe we use birds as bait for something, which kind of like, because if you
freeze?
look on the hunter guide, you'll see that some of these things have baits. Like for box traps, they have preferred bait. Doesn't matter. The chins will go without the bait anyways. I mean, like maybe we use birds. Maybe we use birds as bait for things. Who knows? Maybe some things like various kinds of birds. I don't know what changes to hunter make it better and what changes make it more tedious. Like if we look on the hunter skill guide right now, people only really do aerial fishing to get the rods. Maybe
Right.
there would be something cool that happens with aerial fishing. Like I think some of the stuff in hunter should just be expanded.
Yeah. We need a
You
hunter
know?
expansion, to be honest with you. Actually,
need-
I would take hunter expansion before mining. I
Yeah.
think. 'Cause that
I
would
just
be
think
way
like
more fun.
like birds, butterflies, tracking prior to herbivore is useless. Why do people catch white rabbits? You don't need to.
just
Why do people
so
catch
much dead
imps?
content.
Maybe imps, like catching imps in the wild, like untradeable versions of implings, give various bonuses. I don't know. Maybe imps can give a buff. Like if you catch an imp, there's like a 1 in 100 chance to get like for the next hour you drop clues at a higher rate, or like monsters give more Slayer XP, just like they're talking about. But like it's like a potential little thing, or maybe it relates to hunter. Who knows, right?
Who knows?
Just hunter is probably what needs some good updates. And I
Mhm.
think small changes to hunter could, because I don't even want to say hunter is dead content, because it's not.
No, it's definitely
Hunter
not.
Hunter contains a lot of dead content.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Hunter
like-
itself contains a lot of like,
There's a lot of stuff you skip. 'Cause
yeah,
you,
this
like birdhouse
didn't, this
runs are
didn't work when
meta.
it came out, and there's no point in using it now.
Right.
You know, so like, why bother?
I feel like the meta of birdhouse runs is so boring. Just like, hey guys, every 50 minutes, once an hour, essentially, you're gonna go and do 4 birdhouse runs, and then you'll never have to touch hunter and do anything, because literally the highest requirement for a quest cape and a diary cape is like 70, something like that. It's the lowest skill requirement for the achievement diaries for an elite. So you could literally do a couple months of birdhouse runs, and it's not hard. It's not hard, and you're done. You never have to train it past a certain level if you don't want to.
Avengor in the recording booth chat says Jamflex just needs to bring taming in as a hunter expansion. Don't make me tap the sign, Avengor. Taming and hunter are like fire and water. It is the exact opposite. Taming is not a hunter expansion.
Yeah, it is.
Boy, it is the literal opposite. Do you go to the zoo to kill things? No. Do you go to the pet store to kill things? No,
but
unless you're buying food to tame, or not to tame, to feed something that's already in your care.
Hunting and... Yeah, I don't know.
It is quite literally
don't say Harambe.
The opposite. Is the opposite of things.
Don't do that.
All right.
Skalaxa said Harambe in the recording booth chat. Don't do that.
I
Too
saw.
soon. Too soon. Anyway,
listen.
It's the opposite. You're right.
It's not the same thing. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting up with this taming slander in my recording booth.
It could be a... I'm not going to try and get into it. You're just going to shut it down.
It's not a hunter expansion. I swear to God, it is not. Hunter needs expansions, but
yeah,
a hunter expansion that involves not actually hunting and befriending animals is like saying we're going to expand Slayer by creating a breeding program for the animals that you're killing. What? It's the literal opposite of what the point of the skill is.
I guess
it is.
So. Hey, anyway, thank you, Mockcat UIM, for the question. I feel like we could do like a dead content expansion episode part 2, just based on that entire question. Like, there's a lot of things in this game that we could put our heads together.
We need to do some research for that one.
Yeah, but it would be fun. So thanks, Mockcat, for that fun question.
That seems like it does, in fact, wrap up the fun question, which, as we all know, wraps up the episode. Folks, if you enjoyed this episode, we have a link tree down in the description below. It will take you everywhere you need to go to get more Xpwaste within your ear holes, if that is something you so desire. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, all the places you listen to podcasts. Check us out, follow, subscribe. I don't know what you do on these platforms, but go do it. Because I promise you it's going to be worth it. Join our Discord, also linked down below. We do have a merch store that we don't talk about too often, but it's there. We have a Patreon link. Who knows? Maybe you'll see a little bit more of Michael live on YouTube. That would be pretty cool.
And
you'll see me live on YouTube. Well, let's not jump the gun here. Streaming is hard.
It's hard.
Streaming is hard these days. All right,
once a month, guys. We can do it once a month, right?
maybe twice a year. Who knows?
Twice a year.
But
semi-annual.
Yes, go check that out. Forestry is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to skill and enjoy myself.
Hey, yeah.
It's gonna hopefully enjoy myself anyways. So, all right, folks. With that, we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.